All right, hey there, welcome. So today we are talking about the caged method in a nutshell. So the caged system is based on just 5 chords that you probably already know. We have a C major chord, we have A, G, E, and D. It spells the word caged. And the idea behind it is that all of these chord shapes, we'll call them shapes, are movable throughout the entire fretboard. And the thing to keep in mind is that music is all relative. This is a C major chord. If I put a capo here on fret 1, I play that same shape and I get a C sharp major chord. I move it up one more to fret 2, I get a D major chord. So with one shape, I can play in all 12 keys. And because this works with this shape, logically it works with all the other shapes. And not only chords, but arpeggios, scales, melodies, everything. Everything is relative in music. You can think of all the notes as like one big spectrum of colors. And these shapes are just little templates that are cut out and can be placed anywhere in this whole rainbow of music. So C chord is the first one that we'll look at. That's the shape for it. And it's good to always be aware of where your root notes are. So for all these chords I'm going to give you today, the root note is going to be in the bass. It's the very lowest note that you're going to be playing. So on the C chord, of course, you don't play this string. This is your root C. And this is the C form of C. So the next letter in the word caged is A. But what we're going to do is we want to retain our root C. Basically what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be showing you the 5 shapes on the fretboard where you can play a C major chord. Okay, so we've got C down. The next one is A, which I'll play right here with the capo at fret 3. This is my A shape. Now, A shape, but it's a C chord because of where the capo is. Okay, see the capo is covering my root note C right here, which would otherwise be open. We've basically shortened the length of the guitar neck, and I can play my A chord that I know, but it's going to sound as a C. You can check that with a piano player or anybody else, and that will sound just fine as a C chord. Okay, the next letter is G. So as you see, I'm using this capo as a tool and as a visual aid, but what you'll discover is that you can replace the capo with your human-made capo, or whatever-made capo, called your finger. We'll talk about that in another lesson. Today I just want to get you comfortable with this whole concept. So we're at G now. I'm going to play a G form here. You'll notice things get a little bit cramped as you go up the fretboard. So this is a G shape. It looks like a G, but it's not a G because of where it is on our whole spectrum of sound. This is a G form of the C chord. And like I said, be aware of your roots. So this note right here is a C, and everything else just falls into place. And what you'll discover is you can play any little bit of this chord, and it'll still sound like a major chord. You could just play the higher part of it. You could just play the middle part of it. Any part you like. And you get a perfectly good C chord. Okay, now the next one, I'm running out of space on my fretboard. The next letter is E. So I'm way up here on fret 8. So again, I have my same root note right here, my root C, and I'm going to play an E chord now. So it's an E chord shape, but it sounds as a C. So if you've started to learn how to play, or if you've been playing bar chords for a while, you likely started with maybe an F bar chord down here, like this. Well, all this is an E chord shape moved up, and then you capo with your finger, and you get an F chord shape. So if you ever have a song, by the way, if you have an F chord and you just can't handle it, there's a workaround. Go ahead and put a capo on fret 1 and play this. Instant F. Okay, anyway, back to where we were. So we were way up here in our E form of C. So you could play this with the capo, or when you get good with your bar chords, you can go ahead and bar that, and you can play a C chord all the way up here. All right, finally we have a D chord shape. So you know a D down here. We're going to play that shape way up here. And again, you always want to be aware of your root. So in a D chord, your root is right here, your open D. So we're following that line all the way up to where we have a C. And it's right there. I don't know if my capo will fit here. I'll do my best. It's really running out of room. Yeah, barely. Okay, so way up here, you have the D form of C. Okay, so that's just kind of a crash course in the Cage method, trying to get this under 10 minutes for you. So I'm just going to run these all without the capo now. I'm going to use my organic capo right here, my finger number 1. Here's my C chord. Okay. Then we go to my A form of C, which I play as a bar chord. You can play it like that. I like to play it kind of Eric Clapton style with my pinky. You can play it classical style like this. I really don't like this way, but you can do it. The idea is just keep in mind, this is your A form. Again, these are all visual aids. Next is G. Okay, so I threw away my capo. I'm trying to do this without a capo. This is very impractical, but this is the G form. You see I'm covering fret 5 here. So what most people do is they'll just take little chord, what we call chord fragments, little pieces of this 6-string shape. If we want to play a C up in this region, something like this. Something like this is really popular. And then sometimes you'll see this, not too often. Okay, so that's your G form right here in the middle of the fretboard. Next is the E form, which many of you probably already know. Been playing bar chords like this for a long time, maybe. That's your E form of C. And oftentimes when I play the D form, I forget about the root. I'm aware that it's there, that note right there on the 10th fret of the D string is a C. I visualize that, but really I just go for this shape right here. Little D chord shape, all the way up here. And there's our C. Okay, so I'll run those really quickly so you can see them. The whole fretboard, these are all C majors. By the way, the notes in a C major chord are C, E, and G. And this method, the Cage method, is just a way to grab all of those notes in a major chord using shapes that you are already familiar with. So we have C. We have the A form. Still a C major chord. We have the G form. Ugh. I never play that. Usually I do something like that if I want that sound. The E form. Okay, and then the D form. There you go, all over the fretboard, C major. Okay, have fun. Thanks for watching.